Ladies and gentlemen, make 2026 the year you stop waiting for life to be kind to you and start becoming strong enough to face it. Not everything will be perfect. Some days will hurt, some nights will feel heavy, but this year is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about standing up every time life asks you to sit down. It is about choosing yourself, even when it feels difficult, even when no one is clapping for you. Stop waiting for the perfect time, because the perfect time is a lie that keeps you stuck. Life does not send invitations saying now you are ready, now you are strong enough, now you deserve it. Life moves forward whether you move or not. While you are waiting for the right moment, time is quietly passing, taking opportunities with it. You don't need everything to be fixed before you begin. You don't need confidence to start. Confidence is built after action, not before it. Most people delay their lives thinking one day things will magically align. They think when I have more money, more support, more clarity, then I will start. But clarity comes from movement, not from sitting still. Strength is not something you wake up with one day. It grows when you choose to stand even while shaking. If you wait until fear disappears, you will wait forever, because fear does not leave. It only learns to walk beside you. Starting with who you are now does not mean settling for less. It means accepting reality without shame. It means saying, this is where I am, and I will move from here. You may feel broken, tired, or unsure, but broken things still have value. Tired people still have purpose, and unsure hearts still beat with hope. You don't have to be healed to begin. Sometimes beginning is what heals you. Look at yourself honestly, without judgment. See your flaws, your limits, your mistakes, and still choose to move. Growth does not demand perfection. It only asks for honesty and effort. Every step you take as you are today is stronger than waiting to become someone else. You are not required to transform overnight. You are only required to take one step, then another. Waiting often feels safe, but it slowly turns into regret. Years later, people don't regret failing, they regret not trying. They regret the chances they were too scared to take, the words they never spoke, the dreams they kept hidden. Starting now may feel uncomfortable, but staying stuck will cost you more. Comfort keeps you frozen, action sets you free. You may not feel ready, but readiness is not a feeling, it is a decision. Decide to show up with whatever you have today. Maybe your best today is small, maybe it's messy, maybe it's quiet, but it still counts. Life does not reward those who wait, it responds to those who try. Even slow progress is still progress. When you start with who you are now, you give yourself permission to grow in public, to learn along the way, to fail and try again. You stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 10. You stop asking for approval and start trusting your own journey. You realize that becoming is a process, not a performance. You don't need to have it all figured out to take the first step. You only need the courage to begin before you feel ready, to move while scared, to believe that the person you are today is enough to start building the life you want. Change your mindset before you try to change your life, because the way you think quietly shapes everything you experience. Your thoughts decide how you see failure, how you handle pain, and how long you stay down after life pushes you back. A life cannot grow beyond the limits of the mind that controls it. If your thinking is small, fearful, or negative, your actions will follow the same pattern, no matter how big your dreams are. Many people try to change their circumstances without changing their beliefs. They want better results while holding on to the same excuses, the same doubts, the same habits of thinking. They blame time, people, luck, or fate, but they rarely question their inner voice. That inner voice decides whether you try again or give up, whether you see a problem or a possibility, whether you grow or remain stuck. Your mindset is not formed overnight, and it is not unchangeable. It is built through repetition, through what you tell yourself daily, and through what you allow into your mind. Every negative thought you repeat becomes a rule. Every limiting belief you accept becomes a wall. If you constantly tell yourself that you are not good enough, not smart enough, or not strong enough, your life will obey those commands. Changing your mindset does not mean pretending everything is fine. It means choosing honesty over hopelessness. It means acknowledging pain without letting it define you. A strong mindset does not deny reality. It faces it and still chooses hope. It understands that failure is not an identity, it is an experience. It understands that rejection is not a verdict, it is redirection. Before you change your habits, change your self-talk. Before you change your routine, change your beliefs. Speak to yourself with the same patience you give to others. Stop attacking yourself for being human. Growth does not come from self-hate, it comes from self-respect. When you believe you are capable of learning, improving, and rising again, your actions naturally align with that belief. A shifted mindset teaches you to take responsibility without carrying shame. Instead of saying, "My life is ruined," you say, "My life needs direction." Instead of saying, "I always fail," you say, "I am still learning." This shift may feel small, but it changes how you respond to challenges. Problems stop feeling like walls and start feeling like lessons. Your environment also shapes your mindset. What you listen to, who you spend time with, and what you consume daily either strengthens or weakens your thinking. You cannot expect a strong mind if you constantly feed it fear, drama, and negativity. Protecting your mindset is not selfish, it is necessary for growth. When your mindset changes, patience increases. You stop rushing your journey and stop comparing your pace to others. You understand that progress looks different for everyone. You learn to trust timing without using it as an excuse. You focus on effort instead of outcomes, on consistency instead of perfection. Changing your mindset is choosing courage over comfort, growth over excuses, and responsibility over blame. It is understanding that your life will not change until your thinking does, and once your thinking shifts, everything else slowly begins to follow. Turn pain into strength, not excuses, because pain is a part of every human story. No one moves through life untouched, and no one grows without being tested. Pain is not sent to destroy you, but if you hold it the wrong way, it can keep you trapped. Many people let their pain become their identity, and without realizing it, they build their entire life around what hurt them instead of what can heal them. Pain can either teach you or chain you. When you turn it into excuses, it becomes a reason to stay small, to stay angry, to stay stuck. You begin to say, "I am like this because of what happened to me," and slowly you give your power away. Your past starts controlling your present, and your wounds start deciding your future. This is not healing, this is survival in slow motion. Strength does not come from denying pain, it comes from facing it honestly. It comes from saying, "Yes, this hurt me, but it will not define me." Your pain is real, but it is not the full story of who you are. What you survived proves your resilience more than it proves your weakness. Every scar is evidence that you endured something you once thought would break you. Excuses feel comforting because they protect you from responsibility. They allow you to stay where you are without trying again, but excuses slowly steal your confidence. Each time you avoid growth because of pain, you teach yourself that you are fragile. Strength is built when you choose to act despite the weight you carry, not when the weight disappears. Turning pain into strength means learning from it instead of living in it. It means asking, "What did this experience teach me?" instead of "Why did this happen to me?" Pain can teach boundaries, patience, self-respect, and empathy. It can teach you what to avoid, what to value, and what truly matters. When pain is processed, it becomes wisdom. This does not mean rushing healing or pretending you are fine. Healing takes time, and strength does not mean silence. It means allowing yourself to feel without allowing feelings to control your actions. It means choosing progress even on days when memories feel heavy. Growth happens when you decide that your future deserves more attention than your past. When you turn pain into strength, you stop seeking sympathy and start building solutions. You stop waiting for someone to save you and start becoming your own support. You learn to stand alone without feeling lonely. You learn that resilience is not loud. It is quiet consistency, showing up again and again even when no one notices. Pain handled with courage creates depth. It softens your heart without weakening your spine. It makes you compassionate without making you passive. You understand struggle without becoming bitter. You become someone who does not break others just because life once broke you. Your story does not end where it hurt. It continues where you decide to rise. Pain can be the place where you lose yourself, or it can be the place where you find your strength, your clarity, and your power again. Be kind to your heart but strict with your goals, because life requires balance, not extremes. If you are only soft, you lose direction, and if you are only hard, you lose yourself. Many people confuse kindness with weakness and strictness with cruelty, but in truth, kindness is how you heal, and discipline is how you grow. You need both if you want to move forward without breaking inside. Being kind to your heart means acknowledging your emotions without judgment. It means allowing yourself to feel tired, disappointed, or overwhelmed without calling yourself weak. Your heart carries stories, scars, and silent battles that no one else sees. Ignoring those feelings does not make you strong, it makes you numb. Real strength comes from listening to your inner voice instead of constantly silencing it. Kindness to your heart is also forgiveness. Forgiving yourself for not knowing what you know now. Forgiving yourself for staying too long, trusting too much, or falling short. You cannot punish yourself into becoming better. Growth does not respond to cruelty. It responds to patience and understanding. When you are gentle with yourself, you create space for healing instead of fear. But kindness without discipline turns into comfort, and comfort slowly turns into stagnation. This is where strictness with your goals becomes necessary. Being strict does not mean being harsh, it means being committed. It means keeping promises to yourself even when motivation disappears. It means doing what needs to be done, not what feels easy in the moment. Strictness with your goals means setting clear boundaries. Boundaries with your time, your energy, and your distractions. It means saying no to what delays you and yes to what develops you. You stop negotiating with your future. You stop making excuses for habits that pull you backward. Discipline becomes an act of self-respect, not self-punishment. When you are strict with your goals, you stop waiting for perfect conditions. You work through discomfort. You accept that progress often feels boring, repetitive, and lonely. You understand that consistency matters more than intensity. Small actions done daily build stronger results than occasional bursts of effort. This balance protects you from burnout. Kindness reminds you to rest, strictness reminds you to return. Kindness allows you to pause, strictness ensures you do not quit. Together, they create sustainable growth. Without kindness, discipline becomes cruel. Without discipline, kindness becomes an excuse. Being kind to your heart also means choosing environments that support your growth. You stop exposing yourself to constant negativity and self-doubt. You protect your peace because a peaceful mind works better than an exhausted one. This kindness gives you the emotional strength to stay disciplined when life feels heavy. Strictness with your goals means holding yourself accountable even when no one is watching. It means showing up on days when results are invisible. It means trusting the process without needing instant validation. You learn to measure progress by effort, not applause. When kindness and strictness work together, you stop swinging between guilt and laziness. You move with intention. You grow without losing compassion. You push forward without breaking apart. You become someone who understands that self-love is not choosing ease over effort, but choosing what helps you become stronger while staying whole. Choose growth over comfort every single time, because comfort is attractive, but it is also limiting. Comfort keeps you where you are, even when where you are is slowly draining you. It feels safe, familiar, and predictable, but it rarely leads to change. Growth, on the other hand, feels uncomfortable, uncertain, and demanding, yet it is the only path that leads to transformation. Most people stay in comfort not because they are lazy, but because comfort protects them from fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. Comfort gives you excuses that sound reasonable. It tells you to wait, to delay, to stay quiet. Over time, comfort becomes a cage that looks like safety, but feels like regret. Growth asks more from you. It asks you to try before you feel ready. It asks you to step into situations where you might fail, where you might feel exposed, where outcomes are not guaranteed. Growth does not promise ease. It promises expansion. Each time you choose growth, you stretch beyond the version of yourself that once felt safe but small. Comfort often disguises itself as self-care. Rest is necessary, but hiding is not healing. There is a difference between pausing to recharge and stopping to avoid discomfort. Growth respects rest, but it does not let rest become a hiding place. It encourages you to return stronger, not stay still longer. When you choose growth, you accept discomfort as a teacher instead of an enemy. Discomfort shows you where development is needed. It highlights weaknesses so they can be strengthened. Avoiding discomfort may protect your feelings temporarily, but it weakens your confidence in the long run. Facing discomfort builds resilience, and resilience builds self-trust. Choosing growth also means letting go of familiar patterns that no longer serve you. Old habits, old routines, and sometimes old relationships. Comfort keeps you tied to what you know, even if it holds you back. Growth requires courage to release what feels familiar, but limits your potential. Every meaningful change in life demands discomfort. Learning, healing, improving, and becoming all require effort. Growth does not happen in ease, it happens in challenge. The muscles of the mind and heart grow only when they are tested. Avoiding challenge leads to stagnation, and stagnation slowly erodes self-belief. Comfort seeks pleasure, growth seeks purpose. Pleasure fades quickly, but purpose gives lasting fulfillment. Growth may feel heavy at first, but it brings clarity, confidence, and direction. You begin to respect yourself more because you see what you are capable of when you stop choosing the easy way out. When you choose growth repeatedly, your comfort zone expands. What once felt difficult becomes normal. What once scared you becomes manageable. This is how progress works, not through sudden leaps, but through consistent choices that favor development over ease. Choosing growth does not mean forcing yourself into constant struggle. It means choosing the harder right over the easier wrong. It means investing effort today so tomorrow feels lighter. It means understanding that the temporary discomfort of growth is far less painful than the permanent regret of staying the same. Show up daily, even without motivation, because motivation is unreliable and temporary. It comes and goes based on mood, energy, and circumstances. If you wait to feel inspired before taking action, you will spend most of your life waiting. Progress is built by consistency, not excitement. The people who move forward are not the most motivated, they are the most committed. There will be days when you feel tired, uninspired, and doubtful. On those days, discipline matters more than desire. Showing up does not always mean giving your best, it means giving something. Even small effort keeps the habit alive. A little action is always stronger than no action. Consistency compounds quietly, even when results are not visible. Motivation often follows action, not the other way around. When you start moving, energy builds. When you complete small tasks, confidence grows. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for the wind to push you forward. Showing up daily means becoming the source of your own momentum. Daily effort builds trust with yourself. Every time you show up, you prove that your word matters. Every missed promise weakens self-belief. When you keep showing up, even imperfectly, you strengthen your identity as someone reliable. This self-trust becomes a powerful foundation for growth. Showing up daily also teaches humility. You accept that progress is slow and repetitive. You stop chasing instant results and start respecting the process. Success becomes less about dramatic breakthroughs and more about steady presence. This mindset protects you from burnout and frustration. There will be days when showing up feels pointless, results seem far away, effort feels invisible, and doubts become loud. These are the most important days to show up. Anyone can act when things feel good. Growth happens when you act despite resistance. Resistance often appears right before improvement. Showing up daily requires structure, not inspiration. Systems outperform willpower. When routines are clear, action becomes easier. You remove the need to decide every day. You simply follow the plan. This reduces mental fatigue and keeps you moving even when emotions fluctuate. Daily presence also builds resilience. You learn to work through discomfort instead of avoiding it. You stop letting emotions control your behavior. This emotional discipline creates inner strength. You realize that feelings are temporary, but actions create lasting impact. When you show up daily, you stop relying on external validation. You measure success by effort, not applause. This independence strengthens confidence. You become less reactive to praise or criticism. You stay focused on your path, regardless of noise. Showing up daily does not mean ignoring rest or health. It means showing up with awareness. Some days your best is strong effort. Other days your best is gentle persistence. Both matter. Consistency is flexible, not rigid. It adapts without breaking. Over time, daily effort transforms identity. You stop trying to become disciplined. You become disciplined. You stop chasing consistency. You live it. This identity shift makes growth sustainable. Action becomes part of who you are, not something you force yourself to do. Walk away from what breaks you. Choose what builds you, because staying in harmful situations slowly teaches you to accept pain as normal. Many people remain connected to places, habits, or people that drain them, not because they are weak, but because they are afraid of change. Familiar pain feels safer than unfamiliar peace, but safety that costs your peace is not safety at all. Walking away does not always look brave. Sometimes it looks quiet. It looks like choosing silence over arguments, distance over drama, and self-respect over approval. Letting go is rarely easy, especially when you have invested time, love, or hope. But staying where you are constantly wounded teaches your heart to survive instead of grow. Choosing what builds you requires honesty. You must be willing to admit what is hurting you, even when it is uncomfortable. Sometimes what breaks you is not obvious. It may be a habit that slowly weakens your confidence, a routine that leaves no space for growth, or a relationship that keeps you doubting your worth. Awareness is the first step toward change. Walking away does not mean you failed. It means you listened. It means you chose healing over pride. Many people confuse endurance with strength, but strength also knows when to leave. Staying in pain does not make you loyal. It makes you exhausted. Growth demands boundaries, and boundaries require courage. Choosing what builds you means selecting environments that support your values and direction. It means surrounding yourself with people who respect your effort, your time, and your growth. You begin to understand that energy is limited, and where you spend it matters. You stop trying to fix what constantly damages you, and start investing in what nourishes you. This choice often brings guilt. You may feel selfish for prioritizing yourself, But protecting your well-being is not selfish, it is responsible. You cannot build a strong future while carrying constant emotional weight. Walking away from what breaks you creates space for what can heal you. Choosing what builds you also means changing internal patterns. Sometimes the most damaging connection is with your own negative self-talk. Walking away from that inner voice requires patience and awareness. You learn to speak to yourself with respect. You stop replaying old failures and start focusing on present effort. Walking away may lead to loneliness at first. When you leave familiar environments, there is a gap before new connections form. This space can feel uncomfortable, but it is also where clarity grows. In this quiet, you rediscover your needs, values, and direction. Solitude becomes a place of rebuilding, not emptiness. Choosing what builds you is a daily decision. It is not one dramatic moment, but repeated small choices. Choosing better habits, healthier routines, and supportive people. Each choice strengthens your foundation. Over time, these choices create stability and confidence. Walking away from what breaks you teaches self-respect. Choosing what builds you teaches self-trust. Together, they create a life that feels lighter, clearer, and more aligned with who you are becoming. Make 2026 about becoming stronger, not life becoming easier, because an easy life is never guaranteed. Comfort can disappear, plans can fail, and circumstances can change without warning. When you focus on strength instead of ease, you prepare yourself for whatever comes. Strength gives you stability, even when everything around you feels uncertain. Many people waste years wishing for fewer problems instead of more capacity. They pray for less pressure, less pain, less responsibility. But pressure is not always the enemy. Pressure reveals what you are made of. Challenges expose your habits, your mindset, and your resilience. When you grow stronger, problems do not disappear, but they stop controlling you. Becoming stronger means developing emotional control. Life will test your patience, your ego, and your reactions. Strength is staying calm when chaos invites you to react. It is choosing responses instead of impulses. Emotional strength allows you to think clearly under stress and act wisely instead of emotionally. Mental strength is built by facing discomfort instead of avoiding it. Each time you do something difficult, you expand your tolerance. Your mind learns that discomfort is survivable. This reduces fear and increases confidence. You stop running from challenges and start meeting them with preparedness. Physical strength also matters. Taking care of your body builds discipline and energy. Movement, routine, and effort teach your mind consistency. A strong body supports a strong mind. Even small daily actions compound into resilience over time. Becoming stronger also means building independence. Depending on external validation, constant support, or perfect conditions weakens you. Strength grows when you learn to stand alone when needed, make decisions confidently, and trust your ability to adapt. Independence does not mean isolation, it means self-reliance. Strength requires responsibility. You stop blaming circumstances and start focusing on response. You accept that while you cannot control everything, you can control your effort, attitude, and choices.